All right, ladies and gentlemen, let's take a look at the do now. So it says, for each pair of expressions, decide mentally which one has a value that is closer to 0 and justify your reasoning. Once you have completed your post, respond to the posts for 2 other students. All right. So for each pair of expressions, decide mentally which one has a value that is closer to 0. And then justify your reasoning. All right. So I'm going to do this one over here. So I have 9/11 or 15/11. Closer to 0. So if I can kind of mentally, let me just draw it real quick. Number line is 0. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So this is -5. This is +5. Okay. 9/11, 15/11. So 9/11 would be smaller than 15/11 because 15/11 would be 1 and what is that, 4/11. So I'm trying not to write it down because it says mentally, because the 11 on the denominator is smaller than the numerator, so that's at least 1. So that means 1 would be over to the right further than the 9/11. So I would say the 9/11 is closer to 0 because it is smaller than 15/11. Okay. Number 2, 1/5 or 1/9. All right, so this is a little different because the denominators are different. So 1/5 would be 1 block colored in of 5 blocks. Again, I'm trying to do this mentally. 1/9 would be 1 out of 9. So that means the 1/9 would be smaller than the 1/5, because think about a pizza. If a pizza is cut into 5 pieces, or if a pizza is cut into 9 pieces, if you had one that's only cut into 5 pieces, that's a bigger piece than if you had one cut out of 9 pieces. Now, 1/5 is bigger than 1/9, so that means the 1/9 would be closer to the 0. Closer to the 0. And again, because it is smaller than 1/5. And again, if you think about it like pizzas, that works for me. It makes me kind of hungry. All right. Number 3, 1.25 or 5/4. That's interesting. 1.25, which would be the same as, so if I have $1.25, that means I could have a dollar bill and a quarter. So that would be $1 and 1/4. And if I have 5/4, okay, the 4 is smaller than the 5, which means the 4 can go into the 5, which would give me a whole, and that would leave me 1/4. So that would then be 1 and 1/4. So 1.25, which is 1 and a quarter. 5/4 is 1 and a quarter. So I'm going to say they are the same. Okay, so they're both the same distance from 0. All right, last one. 0.01 or 0.001. Decimals. Love decimals. So we have to figure out which one is smaller. Okay, so decimal points, as you move over, the number's getting smaller. So the first one is 1/100th, 2 zeros, and the second one is 1/1000th. So that means if I cut a pizza into 100 pieces and I cut a pizza into 1,000 pieces and I had 1 out of 100, 1 out of 1,000, which is smaller, that would be this one, 0.001. And if it's smaller, it means it's closer to 0. Okay? That was pretty good for that one. All right, let's keep going. Okay, we're going to insert. Let's do the second one. Okay, let's take a look at these. This was vocabulary. Absolute value is the value of a number, its distance from 0. So let me just show you what we mean. 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Negative 5, positive 5. So if I go jumping, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That means this 5 is 5 jumps away from 0, and this 5 is 5 away from 0. So that means negative 5. Not sure what negative 15 is, but let's try it again. The absolute value, I did it twice. One more time. Negative 5, there you go, and 5. So the absolute value of negative 5 is 5, and the absolute value of 5 is 5. Okay, it's the distance away from 0. Okay, a negative number is a number that is less than 0. That would be anywhere from this 0 to the left. Let's do it here. Okay, it's anywhere from the 0 that way. Okay. Positive, or no, opposites. Two numbers are opposite if they are the same distance from 0 and on different sides of the number line. So we can do it again like we did up top. 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And this negative 5 and this 5 are opposites. Positive number. A positive number is a number that is greater than 0. Okay, greater than 0. So that's anywhere from the 0 that way. Rational number is any positive or negative whole numbers, decimals, fractions, and 0. So 0 all the way over. And all the way the other way. So positive, negative, decimals, fractions, 0. Sign is a sign of any number that other than 0 is either positive or negative. Positive, negative. All right, last little bit. We use the notation to say the absolute value of negative 2, which means the distance of number 2 from 0 on the number line. What does the absolute value of negative 7 mean? It means it is 7 steps from 0. And its value is 7. What does 1.8 mean? It is 1.8 steps away from 0. Its value is 1.8. What does 5 plus negative, what does the absolute value of 5 plus the absolute value of negative 6 mean? So if I take the absolute value of 5 plus the absolute value of negative 6, which would be the same as 5 plus 6, so that's 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, and its value is 11. Okay, absolute value of negative 8 minus 2, the absolute value of negative 8 minus the absolute value of negative 2, so that would be 8 then minus 2 equals 6, and the value is 6. The absolute value of -9 is 9. The absolute value of +3 is 3. When you add those together, 9, 10, 11, 12. Okay. Pretty cool. All right, guys.